Hello.
Hey guys, I'm Defied and today I'll be showing you the top 10 Sova Recon lineups you should know for the map Ascent. I'm splitting these up into 5 arrows for attack and 5 for defense, and also at least 1 for A site, B site and mid on each side. That way you've got at least 1 wherever you're going. There are so many good lineups that it was really hard to choose just 10, but these were the best ones for each area. Now I use all these lineups all the time in Immortal ranked games, so you can be sure they are good and work well. Now before we get into it, hardly any of my views come from subscribers, so please, if you like this content and you want more, hit the like button and subscribe. That will really help me out and give me motivation to make more and more of these for you all. I'll be working on similar videos for all the other maps after this, so make sure to sub and come back soon. Awesome guys, I appreciate your help, so let's get into it. Alright, so let's start out with the defender side recon bolts. This first arrow is for B lobby and tiles, however you'll be firing it from A short. This is my favourite arrow for Ascent, as the enemy won't see it coming and it can give a lot of information. It's fairly simple to line up, probably a 3 out of 10 for difficulty. So to line this one up, push yourself into this groove where the door is, then look up and aim towards the bottom of this clearing and find these 2 holes or gaps that you'll see in the tree line. Now take your right bounce diamond and place the middle of this over the middle of the right gap. Once you're here, simply do a 2-bar charge and no bounces. This one's going to fly up over mid, and after about 6 seconds it will land on top of this hut, revealing most of B lobby, some of B main and anyone peeking short from tiles. This arrow catches the enemy by surprise and you can get your teammates some wallbangs from B site if they're ready. This arrow is best used at the start of a round, though you could potentially use it a bit later if you're unsure which site the enemy might be hitting. Alright, this next arrow is for if you're defending A site and you need information on A main and A lobby. Now I'd give this one a difficulty of 7 out of 10 for the lineup, because even though the lineup is pretty fast and easy, it is fairly pixel perfect. For this one, you want to get into the corner here behind generator and then aim up where you see this roof. Now there's a tiny sliver of a gap between the wall and the roof, and you want to put the middle of your crosshair right into the top left corner of this gap, near the top of the roof. Do a max charge with no bounces and it's going to fly very fast and land right on the corner of the roof. This one's going to reveal pretty much everything in A main except for this corner right here by the orb, and most of A lobby except for behind the boxes. Now I like to use this one at the start of a round, or if I hear a little bit of movement in A main to check how many enemies there are. Alright, if you're playing A site and think the enemy is rotating or you need to help your teammates in mid, you can send this heaven to mid arrow. Now it's not a hard recon to do, but it does reveal a bit more with some practice, so it's probably around a 5 out of 10 for difficulty. Head into this corner at the top of the ramp to heaven, then aim up and over the top of this building. Now there's a shadowy part on the bottom corner of this window here, and you want to basically place the bottom middle of your owl drone logo just above this corner. When ready, do a 2-bar charge and release the arrow. After around 6 seconds, it's going to land on the edge of this wall here, revealing pretty much all of mid, catwalk and even some of mid towards pizza. With some practice, you can get the recon really close to the edge of this wall and it will reveal most of tiles and a small sliver of B lobby. This one can be used at the start of the round if the enemy loves to flood mid fast, but also later in the round to catch rotations. A big part of defense is going to be site retake, so these next 2 arrows will be retake arrows for each side. First we're going to do the A site retake arrow. This one is really good for clearing most of A site with the exception of A main and hell. It's fairly straightforward but does require a jump and a little bit of a lineup to do it perfect every time, so it gets a 4 out of 10 for difficulty. Now first of all you're going to walk up the ramp to heaven and line yourself up with this little line on the metal trim around the floor. Then aim halfway between the top 2 bars on the wall and slightly to the right of this yellow band, or these yellow bands here. Do a full charge jump and this one lands on the turret above the door. It will reveal anyone standing out in the open, but won't show you someone hiding behind the generator, anyone in hell or A main, so just make sure you check these areas when retaking. Now for retaking B site, a lot of people will shoot an arrow up to this tree, and that is exactly what we are going to do. However, most people just shoot it wherever, but further to the left side of this tree is best because it will also reveal anyone hugging the lane wall. Now there is a small lineup for this, but overall difficulty is only a 2 out of 10. As you're rotating from A through defender spawn, you want to put yourself against this back wall, then shuffle down until you see this floating debris slightly above the left side of the tree. Aim at the debris, then do a full charge, no bounces. This will fly fast and will usually get at least one charge off before being destroyed. This will show you information for all of B site and lane. If this doesn't reveal anyone, then they are probably back site, B main, or somewhere closer to you like in market or boathouse. Awesome, now let's move on to our attacker sided lineups. Starting with A site, I'll be showing you the God Arrow. Now I think a lot of Sova players use this arrow and it's easily shot down if you use it too much, but it is still an amazing A site arrow. I'd say this one is around a 5 out of 10 for difficulty, as it can be easy to miss if you don't get the lineup perfect. To get started, put yourself into this corner against the barrel. Behind and above A site there's this like explosion thingy, and part of it forms this 4-sided shape just above the building line. Most people will tell you to aim at the bottom right corner of this, but from experience this seems to miss sometimes for me. For consistency, aim at the bottom middle or just slightly right of the middle on the edge of the building. Then do a 2-bar charge and release. It's going to fly up over A main and hit this turret just by heaven, revealing everything by generator, close right of A main and behind these boxes as well. It can also reveal some of heaven, but it won't show you anyone in hell or by switch, so be careful of these positions. The best time to use this arrow is just as your team is about to push site. Using it straight away won't give you the best information, as it is easy for the enemy to pre-aim this arrow and shoot it down. Our next arrow is for revealing everything in tree, and is best used when doing a split attack on A site and requires some coordination from your teammates. They need to be up Catwalk and just about ready to take tree control. You should also have at least one other teammate with you getting ready to push A main after you shoot the arrow. Now the lineup is easy, but it does require a jump, so this is a 2 out of 10 for difficulty. Here, jump onto the tall box and then look over towards the tree area. Put your crosshair on the lowest point where the wall and the tree intersect. Then do a full charge, jump and fire the arrow. This one will land on the tree branches here and reveal everything inside the tree area, however won't show you anything in garden. Timing is really important with this one, as it's best to use when coordinated with your teammates, though you can shoot it at the start of the round if you have a teammate peeking short from tiles, as it will reveal the enemy if they try to peek mid. Next, we are moving on to our mid attack. The arrow here is shot from top mid and is one of the easiest lineups you can do, so it's just getting a 1 out of 10 for difficulty. Before the barrier drops, stand in this corner by the barrier and you'll see this lamp thing here. Now you want to aim just under it in the middle, and then once the barrier drops, do a full charge with 1 bounce. This one will go flying fast and land on this wall, revealing anyone trying to hold up close by the arch or holding with an op from mid or market. I like this one for mid, as it is nice and safe to do and helps your team push out into the mid area, often getting a nice early kill if they're up close, as you can wall bang these walls. This next arrow is shot from cat in the mid to the market area and is really useful for helping your team push mid. It's a pretty easy arrow to do, but can be off if you aim too high or too low, so this one's a 2 out of 10 for difficulty. Stand somewhere on cat at the top of these stairs. Now you don't need to worry too much about this one, it doesn't need to be perfect, so you can stand almost anywhere here. Aim for the top middle of the market arch where it meets the brick wall. Do a full charge with no bounces. This one is going to land on the underside of the arch and reveal everything inside market, pizza, and even some of CT and bottom mid. I find using this one as your team moves through the arch is the best time, as it will hopefully catch the enemies with the first scan, allowing your team to get an easy kill as they shoot the recon bolt. And finally, the last arrow for Ascent is for attacking B site. I'm not the biggest fan of pushing B, as I hate to get shot through the wall. If I do make it through and not get shot through the wall, crossing out of B main I'm certain to die, as somehow I always get shot from market, CT or stairs. So this arrow I created to expose as much of these areas as possible and remove the burden of pushing out and allow my team to get more easily onto site. Now the arrow is fairly pixel perfect, so the difficulty is a 7 out of 10, as it can be easy to miss. At the start of the round, stand in this corner against the hut. On this wall here you'll see some light patches of brick, and on the right hand side there are these 2 vertical lines. Aim in between these 2 lines, in the middle of the red brick, and then about a brick and a half down. Do a full charge and 1 bounce and send it flying. This one will land quite quickly and hit the underside of this corner of the roof, revealing anyone in CT, stairs, market door and logs. It will also reveal a little bit of site and some of lane, however it won't get anyone in the very back corner, so just be aware of that. Wait until your team gets into B main before you send this one. With a smoke on market, your team should be able to get some easy picks on anyone who picks from CT or stairs before they push to site. And that's it for the Ascent arrows. I'm going to do my top 10 arrows for the other maps as well, so make sure you subscribe with notifications on so you can watch those as soon as they drop. I really hope this video has helped you out, and if so, leave me a like as it will help the channel grow and I can keep making quality content. That's it for today guys, thanks for watching, I'm Defied and happy gaming.